Hi guys, it's Rhaenyra, and I was bored, so I decided to look up how many Hetalia characters have names, whether they be official or fanon. And I realized that partway through the show, Himaruya, I think his name is, I don't even know his name, it's pathetic. Yeah, he decided to stop giving them names. So yeah. Trying to find. Yes, Himaruya. Yeah, he decided to stop giving them official names. So some of them have potential names. Some of them, like America and England, have official names, and others have just been named by the fans. Ooh. Yeah. And I also looked into like the history of the names, etc., etc. Yep. I'm pathetic, I know. So yeah, it's a long list of names. And, yeah. I also threw in some pets in there because I was bored. So, enjoy. America's official name is Alfred F. Jones. Jones is one of the most common surnames in the United States, but could also be alluding to Indiana Jones, as America once stated that one of his hobbies was archaeology. Alfred F. could be an allusion to Alfred E. Newman. The F in his name could have been inspired by John F. Kennedy, one of the most iconic U.S. presidents to date. Some fans believe the F stands for freedom, considering that is one of America's obsessions, but Himaruya says his initial plans for it were Foster, Frederick, or Fuck. It is also possible that his name is a reference to the USS Alfred, the first ship to fly the Grand Union flag. The man who hoisted the flag was John Paul Jones. Another likely reference is Alfred Hitchcock, who is famous for his suspense films, thus explaining America's taste in movies and games. The first character on this list is Ancient Rome. Although he was only ever referred to as Grandpa Rome, canonically, fans have been known to refer to him as Roma. This, however, gets a little confusing, because both South Italy and the Holy Roman Empire have obtained the same nickname. Next, we have Australia. Australia was never given an official name, however, Himaruya released possible names such as Ralph, Christian, Kyle, and Jet. He is also sometimes called Jack. In fanfictions, his surname is usually Kirkland due to England's colonization of Australia. Austria's official name is Roderick Edelstein. The name Roderick may have been inspired by Roderick von because I'm American, a well-known Austrian composer and operatic writer. It may also have stemmed from Republik Österreich, the local term for the Republic of Austria. Edelstein literally translates as gemstone, as in noble or precious stone, and is a predominantly Jewish surname with German roots. The name also appears to be half Edelweiss, Austria's national flower, and half Stein, the glass or mug used to hold beer. Edel can also mean noble, stainless, or pure, and is derived from the word adel, or shield, meaning a coat of arms, which alludes to an Austrian affinity for titles. Officially, Belarus's name is Natalia Arlovskaya. An informal variant of her first name is Natasha. Natalia is sometimes alternatively spelled as Natalya, which could possibly be her 2P name. Her surname is often translated as Alfroskaya, but the more accurate spelling is Arlovskaya. If read as Arlovskaya, her surname would correspond with Arlovsky, like the Belarusian Andrei Arlovsky. However, it is quite doubtful that he was Himaruya's inspiration. Although not common, you will occasionally see fans refer to Belarus as different forms of Bella, Belle, and Bell. Some of Belgium's potential first names were Laura, Emma, Henri, and Manon. No possible surnames were ever given. Phonetically, she is often given any derivative of Bela, albeit much more frequently than Belarus. While never given an official name, Bulgaria is sometimes referred to as Balkan, a name that started as a tag on Pixiv. It is also a pun for the term Balkan, a group of nations which the actual country of Bulgaria is classified under. Canada's official name is Matthew Williams. There is no definite source for his first name, although Matthew often ranks among the top 3 given names in Canada. Coincidentally, or not, the caravel sailed by John Cabot from Bristol to North America in 1497 was named Matthew. Cabot and his crew were thought to have landed in what is now modern-day Newfoundland. Occasionally, his name will be alternately spelled as Mattieu or Matthieu due to his French heritage. However, the French spelling of Matthew is more often than not associated with 2P Canada rather than 1P. In his original blog post, Himaruya said that Canadians have a Matthew image and that his full name seemed Canadian. He also mentioned that the name Matthew Jones made him seem American, so he chose Williams instead. In many fanfictions, especially Prucan, Canada is affectionately called Birdie. This nickname seems to have stemmed from Prussia's love of birds, and fangirls' love of adorable nicknames. China's official name is Wang Yao. Written the Western way, it is Yao Wang. Wang is a common Chinese surname meaning king, and Yao translates as brightly shining. A common Fanon spelling of his surname is Wang. The only recognizable Fanon name he has is Yaushka, which is the Russian diminutive of the name. It's most often seen in Rochu fanfictions. Cuba was never given an official name, but some of the potential names Himaruya released were Maximo, Juan, Aracemdo, and Carlos, with Mikado being a possible surname. Denmark does not have an official name. However, Himaruya released 8 potential first names along with a surname. The first names were Anderson, Christensen, Arneson, Simon, Abel, Michael, Magnus, and Bertram, while Denson was released as a possible surname. Denmark has quite a few Fanon names, the most recognizable being Matthias Kohler. Quite a few fans mistook this for an official name because it had been added to the Hetalia TV Tropes character page, but it was soon found false, as Hideka's Himaruya stopped giving the characters official names by the time Denmark was created. Another popular Fanon name is Soren Andersen, which has become the source of much amusement due to the fact that Soren is a Danish and Norwegian swear word. Another Fanon name for Denmark is Anko, often used by Norway, followed by Uzai, the Japanese word for annoying. Anko translates as Big Brother in a northern Japanese dialect, referring to Denmark's strip appearance, in which he proclaimed himself the Big Brother of the Nordics. The phrase Anko Uzai first appeared in Denmark's trading card profile in a quote from Norway. Denmark is also referred to as Makun or Markun, which both stem from the Japanese pronunciation of Denmark, which is Denmaku. Egypt's official name is Gupta Muhammad Hassan. Interestingly enough, while Muhammad and Hassan are extremely common Arabic names, Muhammad is the most common name in the world, Gupta is actually an Indian surname as well as the name of a former Indian empire. England's official name is Arthur Kirkland, perhaps a shout-out to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote the iconic Sherlock Holmes novels and shared England's stubborn belief in fairies. England's nicknames include Iggy from the Japanese Igirisu and Iggy Brows, referring to the massive eyebrows that he shares with Australia, Hong Kong, Sealand, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, and Wales. Estonia is officially named Edward von Bock. Both the first name Edward and the surname von Bock are of German origins, although Edward is a common name for Baltic, Slavic, and Russian men. Finland's official name is Tino Väinämöinen. Although Tino is his official name, some fans choose to use the more common Finnish name of Timo, as Tino is rarely used in Finland. His surname may have been inspired by the Finnish folklore character of the same name, who is viewed as somewhat of a deity as well. And yes, you're right, I have no idea how to actually pronounce his last name. What do you expect? I'm American. We're not used to seeing umlauts and stuff like that. The official name for the character France is Francis Bonnefoy. In French, Francis would be spelled Francois. The French spelling of his name is commonly associated with 2P France. Francis is a common French name, literally translating as Frenchman. His surname, Bonnefoy, translates as good faith, F-O-Y being an old-fashioned way to spell faith, F-O-I. While listing the characters' names, Himaruya noted that his original name for France was Jean Epine. While Germania has no official name, he is sometimes jokingly referred to as Legolas, due to his stark resemblance to the Lord of the Rings character played by Orlando Bloom. Germany was never given an official surname, for reasons undisclosed, so in many fanfictions he is Christian with his older brother Prussia's surname, Bielschmidt. He is also referred to as West, a nickname Prussia has used canonically. The nicknames Lutti, Lutz, and Lutzi all stem from his official name, Ludwig. Another nickname is Kuchen, cake in German, fairy, a reference to his secret love for baking cakes. This name took on a much more literal meaning when fan art started appearing of Germany dressed as a fairy, often pictured with cake. He is also referred to as Deutschu, which translates as Germany. This nickname was immortalized by Italy, who often cries out, Deutschu, Deutschu, to get Germany's attention. Greece's official name is Heracles Carpusi, a possible reference to the demigod of Greek mythology given the same first name. His surname is not actually a real name, but rather the Greek word for watermelon. The Holy Roman Empire was never given an official name. However, he is often referred to as HRE, his initials, or Roma. However, Roma is a rather confusing nickname because both ancient Rome and South Italy can be called the same thing. Himaruya released 3 possible names for Hong Kong: Wong Longjia, Longjia Wong in the Western form, Li Chun Zhao, Western is Chun Zhao Li, and Leon for an English name. The English name may have been a reference to the time period in which England had control of Hong Kong. Some of the fanon names for him are Kaoru and Kao, while Chinese fans sometimes refer to him as Horace Wong. When referencing the British rule over Hong Kong, more often than not, Hong Kong will be referred to as Leon, occasionally taking on England's surname, Kirkland. There's a lot of debate surrounding Hungary's name, mostly due to translation difficulties. Officially, her name is Elisabetta Hedervary. However, some fans choose to use Elisabetta as well as Elizabeth and Elizabeth, although the actual Hungarian spelling of Elizabeth would be Erzsébet. Using the spelling of Elizabeth could also be an allusion to Empress Elizabeth of Bavaria, the Empress of Austria and Queen of Hungary. She was married to the Emperor of Austria, Franz Joseph, who is mentioned briefly in the anime. Hedervary, alternately spelled Hedervari, is the surname of an old aristocratic Hungarian family with multiple members of celebrity status. Iceland was never given an official name. The potential names that Himaruya released were Emil, Sigurður, Eiríkur, and Egil, with Stílsson being a possible surname. Common fanon names are Isu, which is Japanese for ice, Ice, which is derived from Iceland, Jökull, Great Glacier in Icelandic, Eric, a rather unpopular name, and Emil, one of the most common fanon names. North Italy's official name is Feliciano Vargas. It should be noted that Vargas is not a common Italian surname, rather it's more commonly seen in Spain. However, it could be an allusion to the artist Alberto Vargas, who is known for his World War II Vargas Girls pinup art. Likewise, Feliciano, stemming from the word felice, happy, is an unusual given name in Italy and is more commonly found as a surname. However, Himaruya might have been inspired by the Italian calligrapher Felice Feliciano. Interestingly enough, while the name is pronounced by fans as Feliciano, in Italian it is pronounced Feliciano. A common fanon name is Veneciano. It's easy to see why it could also be his name. Venice is a city in northern Italy, and southern Italy is called Romano, which corresponds to the city of Rome. However, Veneciano is not North Italy's official given name, and could possibly be used to refer to his 2P counterpart. South Italy, often called Romano for the sake of distinguishing between him and his brother, was given the official name of Livino Vargas. Livino is not a common first name in Italy, It's rather rare even for a surname. It literally translates as the wine. It may be the masculine form of the name Lavina, derived from the name Lavinia, which was the name of the legendary mother of the Roman people. Another way of looking at it is through the Japanese pronunciation, rovino. Rovino is a conjugated form of the verb rovinare, which means to collapse or wreck, thus translating as I wreck. A common fanon name for him is Roma, although he shares it with both the Holy Roman Empire and his grandfather, ancient Rome. Another nickname, albeit less common, is Grand Mono, given to him after he dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother for Halloween 2011. Japan's official name is Honda Kiku, Kiku Honda to all you Westerners. Kiku comes from the Japanese word for the chrysanthemum flower, which is the family crest of the Japanese imperial family. Honda is a common Japanese surname that includes the kanji Han, which is part of the Japanese name for Japan, Nihon. Latvia's official name is Raivis Galante. While Raivis is an actual Latvian name, his surname Galante has Italian roots. However, intentional or not, Latvia does share a surname with the well-known opera singer Inessa Galante, who happens to be a native to the country of Latvia. Liechtenstein was never given an official name. The potential names released were Erika, Tutsia, Elise, and Ava, with Vogel as a possible surname. However, for reasons undisclosed, Ava and Elise were both removed from the list. The most common name for Liechtenstein is the fanon name of any form of lily, derived from Liechtenstein's national flower. Lithuania's official name is Taurus Laurinaitis. The inspiration behind it remains a complete mystery. A common fanon spelling of his surname is Lorinaitis, despite the official name being spelled Lauriniaitis. The only recognizable nickname for Lithuania is Liet, which Poland has used canonically. The possible names for the Netherlands were Tim, Govert, Abel, and Mogens, with no surname being released. He is also known as John, Bart, and Lars throughout the fandom. The 6 potential names for Norway were Lukas, Borre, Bjorn, Kjetil, Knut, and Sigurd. Both Bondevik and Thomason were being considered as surnames. Phonetically, he is also referred to as Norge and Noreg, which both mean Norway in Norwegian, and Norukun, which is derived from the Japanese Norue. Poland's official name is Felix Lukasiewicz, spelled Feliks because there is no X in the Polish alphabet. The exact inspiration behind the name is unknown, but Himaruya may have had either a scientist or a philosopher of the same surname in mind. Although not so common anymore, Felix was a popular name among the elite in the late 19th and early 20th century. He has no significant fanon nicknames. Prussia was officially given the name Gilbert Bielschmidt. Bielschmidt means axesmith in German, and Himaruya may have had East German jumper Rolf Bielschmidt in mind when he named Prussia. A few of his nicknames include Fuben, the Japanese word for pitiful, Gilbo and Gilgil, which both stem from his given name, Pooh-Bear, from the first syllable of Prussian, and Winnie, a direct reference to Winnie the Pooh. While Romania was never given an official name, the fans seem to have come together to make a decision, at least for his first name, which everyone has agreed is Vladimir. This probably stems from the first widely known vampire story, Bram Stoker's Dracula, inspired by the real-life ruler known as Vlad the Impaler. While the fans haven't come together quite as smoothly on his surname, the main one seen is Dragomir, and while some people could probably tell you where it came from, I sure as hell can't, and I don't know anyone who can. Russia's official name is Ivan Brzezinski, pronounced Ivan rather than Ivan, which is a mistake many fans make, including myself. His first name may have been derived from Ivan the Great or Ivan the Terrible. Both are equally likely. Ivan happens to be a common name for a Tsar. There were 6 Tsar Ivans, as well as 2 Romanov Ivans, and is often used as stereotypical slang for a Russian male, much like John is in America. His surname is often misspelled, carrying the Polish SKY suffix rather than the traditional Russian SKY. Some of his nicknames include Vanya and Vanushka, which are both Russian diminutives of Ivan, and Sobi, which is derived from the Japanese pronunciation of Soviet Union. Seeland's official name is Peter Kirkland. While the exact origin of his name is unknown, it is obvious that he adopted his surname from his father, England. And for his first name, there could be one of two explanations. One is the fact that Peter means rock, and Seeland is basically a rock himself. Well, more accurately, he's a small concrete military fort. So yeah, a rock. The other possible explanation is that Peter is alluding to the fictional character Peter Pan, therefore referencing Seeland's inability to grow up. The only significant nickname he has is Sikun, which is obviously taken from his name. South Korea was given the official name of Im Yong-soo, Yong-soo Im to Westerners. The full name translates as brave and great. Spain's given name is Antonio Fernandez Carriedo. There's been a lot of debate about whether the translation is supposed to be Fernandez or Hernandez, but Fernandez tends to be the more common one. The difference is minor, as both names are derived from those of great Spanish men, Fernandez from Ferdinand II of Aragon, and Hernandez from Hernan Cortes. Both are common surnames in Spain. Sweden's official name is Berwald Oxenstierna. His surname is most likely from the Swedish statesman Axel Oxenstierna and the oldest family in Swedish nobility, the Oxenstiernas. The name Berwald is probably taken from Franz Berwald, a Swedish romantic composer. Berwald is actually of German origins and is not at all common in Sweden today. Switzerland was given the official name of Basch Zwingli. An alternate spelling is Vache, which some theorize is rooted in the French word vache, meaning cow. Because of its well-known domestic dairy industries and products, and because French is one of its official languages, some believe Vache to be the proper spelling. It could also be a reference to Vache the Stampede of the anime series Trigun, as both he and Switzerland are known for avoiding conflict when possible, but are still deadly accurate with a firearm. His surname is believed to have been inspired by Huldrych Zwingli, the leader of the Swiss Protestant Reformation. A common nickname for him is Bruneri, stemming from the strip in which Japan imagines what he would be like as a pretty girl in the Alps. Taiwan does not have an official name, but the two possible names Himaruya released were Lin Yi Ling and Zhao Mei. I'm not sure if those are written the Eastern or Western way, sorry. She has a few fan nicknames, including Mei Mei, the Chinese word for little sister, Mei, the Chinese for plum blossom, considered Taiwan's national flower, and Wan or Wanchan, both stemming from the Wan in Taiwan. While Thailand was never given an official or potential name, some fanon names include Agarat, meaning freedom, and Nirand, meaning everlasting. Turkey's official name is Sadiq Adnan. Adnan is a male name generally used by Muslims and is derived from Adnan, the ancestor of the Adnani Arabs. I can't speak. Sadiq, meaning honest, is generally used as an Arabic surname rather than a first name. While the official spelling of Sadiq is Sadik, an alternate spelling is Sadiq. However, that spelling is inaccurate because the Turkish alphabet doesn't include the letter Q. Ukraine was not granted an official name, but Himaruya was considering a few different possibilities. Maria and Sofia were both released as potential first names. Irunya Chernenko was also released as a potential name. However, Irunya is the diminutive of Irina, the Ukrainian spelling being Iryna, so speculations are floating around that perhaps Himaruya meant it as a pet name, with Irina Chernenko being her full name. Phonetically speaking, Yekaterina Bragинskaya and the diminutive form, Katyusha, seem to be very popular, although Olga is the most popular name among the Russian fanbase. The next few characters I'm going to name were not given official names or potential names, and some of them may not even have been introduced in the manga and or anime, but they deserve honorable mentions. Ancient Egypt is often referred to as Mama Egypt, Aegyptus, which is the actual name for ancient Egypt, the civilization, not the character, and Kemet, which translates as the Black Land, due to the fertile soil near the Nile River. Kemet also translates as the beautiful land. Ancient Greece is phonetically called Mama Greece, Grecia, and Hellas. Both Grecia and Hellas were names used to refer to the civilization of ancient Greece. Moldavia, not to be confused with Moldova, who appeared in the official series, is commonly called Cesar Dragomir. His surname is the same as his father Romania's. The name fans seem to have agreed upon for the character Scotland is Alistair Kirkland. The inspiration behind his first name is unknown. However, his surname is that shared by most of the Kirkland family, with the exception of America and Canada. The Romanian region of Transylvania is commonly referred to as Cosmina Dragomir, surname stemming from that of her father Romania. A name I have seen for the Romanian region of Wallachia is Radu Dragomir, Dragomir being the most commonly seen surname for Romania, Wallachia's father. This section is dedicated to the various pets and animals that show up in the series. Aster, Berlitz, and Blackie were Germany's 3 dogs. While they were never shown in the anime, they are mentioned a few times by Italy. China is often seen with a panda bear hanging out on his back. He's pretty much just there to break the cute meter. I mean, seriously. It's over 9,000! The flying mint bunny, the unicorn, the leprechaun, and the fairies only exist in England's head, which is why America's been trying to convince him to get on Prozac or something that'll help him out. However, Norway may or may not be able to see these creatures as well. Hannah Tamago is Sweden and Finland's dog, who can speak on Christmas and is fiercely loyal to her owners. Cleverly named Mr. Puffin by the fans, he's a little puffin that's sometimes seen accompanying Iceland, often sporting a pink bow tie for no reason whatsoever. Iceland tends to be very short-tempered toward him. Kumajiro is Canada's stuffed polar bear. He's basically the exact opposite of Hannah Tamago. He can speak whenever he damn well pleases, but is known for asking Canada, "Who are you?" Canada rarely remembers his name, and fans often just shorten it to Kuma. The Netherlands has an adorable pet rabbit. She's mostly called Miffy by the fans, but the Dutch fans have started calling her Ninty after a kid's story. Ninty is Dutch for Miffy. Miffy, however, so no one is quite sure whether one inspired the other. Perlotz is Luxembourg's dog, an adorable big breed dog who doesn't bark very much and doesn't speak at all. France has millions of tiny little white birds, all named Pierre. He sends them off with messages and such. See kids, this is what they did before Twitter. Pochi is Japan's pet dog, a Shiba Inu mix that often gets mistaken for a cat. Much like Japan, he's very uncomfortable with being touched and got quite irritated with Netherlands' rabbit when she licked him at their first meeting. However, he has been seen tenderly licking Hannah Tamago, implying that they're quite close friends, if not in an intimate relationship. Prussia's bird. Gilbert to the fangirls, he has become an icon. Every Prussia cosplayer has Gilbert in one form or another, whether he be a plushie on a wig or a piece of fishing wire, or just implied by a shirt that says "Bitches don't know about my chick." He's small, bright yellow, and extremely fluffy. His accompaniment of Gilbert might have been what inspired the Prucan nickname Birdie. Tony is America's alien friend. He has a fucking filthy mouth, absolutely hates England, and gets jealous of the whale when Lithuania spends time with it. He's small and green and one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet, unless you're a fucking limey bastard. Now, I don't know if this bitch is canon, fanon, or just plain in my head, but you need to know about her. Rhiannon is Wales' pet sheep. She's small and white, and if you touch her without permission, you will have a very angry Welsh on your hands. You do not want to go near her unless Wales gives you special permission. Believe me, I've tried it. Not good. So yeah, that is the end of the official names for all sorts of Hetalia characters. I hope you enjoyed this. If you stayed all the way through, you're fucking amazing. And just type down in the comments, I'm fucking awesome, so that I know that some people are actually watching this all the way through. So yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Maybe you learned something. I don't know. And yeah, bye.